Moments with God, a time of reflection for every day.
August 26th. Plan of salvation. Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel, and the preaching of Jesus Christ, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began. Romans 16:25.
A severe blow was felt in heaven itself. The eyes of angels and the entire universe were fixed on the Garden of Eden. There, man could overcome Satan's temptation or fall into his hands, but man chose tragedy over happiness, deception over truth, death instead of life. The faces of the angels in heaven were saddened. Now man was condemned to eternal death. There would be no more salvation, the earth must perish. Satan had a triumphant cry, a world would be destroyed, and God would be held responsible for the misfortunes for having established the law. If God decided to forgive man, Satan would demand forgiveness. If God did not want to forgive, then, he said, "Let us eat from the tree of life, so that we may never die."
In heaven, the Father and his Son held a council of peace, a divine meeting to determine what to do with man who had sinned. There had already been a plan from the ages, but God the Father refused to make it a reality. The plan was that to save man, he had to give up his Son to descend to earth, live with the misery of humans, and die as a criminal. Such a scene was very painful for the Father.
The angels waited at the doors of the divine meeting. What had God decided? Would his wrath fall upon the guilty man and woman? Suddenly, Jesus emerged from the meeting with a smile. There was a way out, he announced to them. And their hearts were filled with emotion. At the meeting, Jesus had struggled to convince his Father to execute the plan they had already outlined in eternity, even before any creature existed. And when the Father agreed despite the pain it entailed, the news could be shared with the angels in heaven. He told him that he would die in man's place.
At first, the angels could not rejoice, because their commander did not hide anything from them, but on the contrary, opened before them the plan of salvation. He told them that he would stand between the wrath of his Father and guilty man, that he would bear iniquity and scorn, and that few would receive him as the Son of God.
No one wanted Jesus to come to earth, but there was no other option. The angels offered their lives so that Jesus wouldn't do it. However, they were told that the life of an angel wasn't enough to satisfy divine justice. It was the Creator himself who had to die, and only then would divine justice be satisfied. Do you think it was easy for the Father to accept that his Son bear the scorn of a guilty race? Of course not. Knowing that he would be despised by the very men he wanted to save, wasn't it better to remain in heaven? But God didn't think so. His love prevailed, and with great pain he gave himself up to save us. Amen.
Thank you for listening to this audio. We invite you to share with your contacts and visit the website BibleWell.com.